Oh, okay. Wait, what's happening? Is she wild? Is she crazy? Is she...
Okay, that's better.
Okay.
There was a little...
I could see, like, just a rogue something over there. We're good, though?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Welcome back to the watch party. If you are new to the channel, this is where we talk about some things that are maybe not true crime, true crime adjacent, maybe some things that should be crimes but are not.
Yeah, buckle up, babe.
Or just generally whatever we feel like, because this is our channel.
Exactly.
So if that's something you're into, like and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Yeah, and today we are talking about the Spice Girls documentary called, I already forgot, How Girl Power Changed Britain.
Girl power.
I think it changed the world. But we're going to talk about it. So obviously not super true crime, but there are some things that I don't like.
There were some things that I didn't like. Yeah. For sure.
So we'll get into it. And a big hey girl thanks to Madison for taking the notes on this one. Thanks, girl.
Hey girl.
We love you. All right, so we're going to Soho, London in 1994.
I know. Do you know where I was in 1994?
Were you even born yet?
Barely.
Oh my God, you're a baby?
Yes, I was alive and well. And just entering the kindergartens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I would have been 8. So what? Second
Old.
grade? Third grade?
So you're old.
Yeah, big time. I know. So there were open auditions for a female lead in a film called Tank Girl.
I thought this was like, what a wild ride.
I was like,
the whole thing starts off and you're just like, I had to double check to make sure I was watching the correct documentary. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, they talk about this cartoon that was Tank Girl and she was a badass and like, it was this what started with the
this is where Geri and Victoria met.
Oh yeah, this is where
the reporter
the punk thing. This was just that.
Yeah, the reporter
movie.
Girl like was sent in. I don't remember what her name was, but there was a reporter or a journalist, whatever. She was sent into this audition to like audition, but basically infiltrate and like see what it was all about. Write a story about it. I don't.
Trojan horrors.
For real.
Yeah. So,
but also why?
I know, like they're
so
like,
random.
We're gonna break this one wide open.
I know,
like,
and you're like, all right, okay.
Like people audition. So they said that one girl stood out from the group because she couldn't have gave a fuck about being there.
Exactly. And who was that girl?
Posh
Spice.
Now they did make a note that she had not good skin.
I know, and I did not appreciate that for her, but then it did do a close-up, and I was like, okay. But you also have to remember she was like 18, 19, so she's got like...
Yeah, they weren't wrong,
18,
but
19
like,
hormonal face.
And then Geri actually tried out too, and when they were like, tell us a little about yourself, she was like, my name is Geri. I'm not going to do a British accent. I'm just not going to do it.
Do the British accent.
She was like, my name is Geri, like Tom and Jerry, but spelled differently. And I was like, you are precious.
Oh my God, I know. And like, she even had the red hair then. I loved her.
Fiery redhead.
I didn't appreciate her, I don't think, as a child.
I didn't either.
And I appreciate her now.
Oh, who was your favorite Spice Girl?
Baby Spice, obviously.
Obviously, me too.
But now in hindsight, I don't think she would be my favorite. Did you say you were sporty?
Absolutely not.
No. Oh, I was like, whoa.
No, baby all the way for me. Yeah.
100% I wanted to be Baby Spice.
Yeah. Who would you be now, do you think?
I mean, I think I'd have to be Scary Spice.
I was like, if you say Posh, I'm not going to judge you for it, but...
I mean, who would you be now?
Baby.
Still?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Or maybe Geri. I mean, like, she seemed fun.
Oh, yeah. I would like to be Geri. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's very, like, confident and she's, like, you know, deal with it.
Yeah.
But that's not me.
I am like that sometimes.
I would like to be like
but not
that.
all the time. But Scary Spice, first of all, obviously I could do the hair. But she's, like, fun and, like, she's pretty straightforward. I feel like she's more of, like, I could just be that. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like we would just kind of vibe.
I love them all.
I know.
They're so great. You know, I was also always like, you know, with NSYNC, my favorite was Justin.
Obviously, yeah. I was they marketed straight to me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
In hindsight, with NSYNC, should have been JC, I'm not going to lie.
The best singer.
Yeah.
It's tearing up my heart when I'm with you, but when we are apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So that's
So that's that.
So that's that. And then obviously now we're getting into like the phenomenon of a girl group that's going to be huge and like all that stuff. So in the spring of 94, music manager Chris Herbert said he had an idea for a girl group and he had organized all these auditions in London. And so he ends up actually putting the Spice Girls together. They do show an interview where the interviewer is like, so were you guys like put together, like manufactured like some of these other groups? And Mel C is like, no.
No way. We actually knew each other from the club scene.
We already lived together.
And then we just moved in together because we kept seeing each other all the time. And it just made sense.
Yeah. He's like, absolutely not. We held auditions. They all came.
I know. He's like, actually, that's a lie.
Yeah. Like that's not how it was. But they were looking for girls 18 to 23 who could sing, dance, who were streetwise.
I know. That was an interesting.
He talked so much about street cred. And I'm like, sir.
Did you see the girls you put together?
And him.
Yeah.
Do you have? I don't have street cred. I mean, know it.
What is British street cred?
That's what I want to know.
What is British street cred? Because I have seen on the TikToks how like people in America are just like not overly intimidated by them because they look like what was the Ali G? What do you remember him? Oh my God, he was like such a caricature, and he always wore like a beanie and like a big fat gold chain and like an oversized
Ali G.
I think that was what his name was.
How do you spell Al? Like an Al? Oh, like an alley.
No, I think it's Ali, like Ali, except it was Ali.
G.
I think so. Ali G. I don't know. I don't know if he was like a spook. Yeah.
Has either of you two been to England? Do you want to see the real Big Ben?
I don't think there's any people that America are scarier than Americans. So.
That's true.
We live in fear all day, every day. So, yeah.
Well, I think we're all just kind of like cough.
Yeah.
Like, but also, can you imagine? Like, okay. Can you imagine a British person? I just imagine they're all so nice.
They're so nice. Their accent is so nice.
And I don't know what you're saying to me.
You have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love you.
But it sounds beautiful.
It sounds beautiful, and I can't take that seriously.
It reminds me of the new science teacher in New Girl, because I rewatch that all the time, and I just got to the season where Ryan goes in you. I was like, I did not remember that they made his last name goes in you. Goes in me, goes in all of us.
Goes in you.
It's pronounced goes in you.
Goes in who?
It goes in you.
But his accent is just so beautiful.
I know.
Like, I'm not scared of him at all.
No, if they were like, give me all your money, I would be like, no.
That's so sweet.
Thank you for asking, but no.
But no, I'm not going to do that. Thank you, though.
I'm sure there are a lot of intimidating British people.
Surely.
Maybe. I don't know. Although I don't think like, I'm thinking about a Thomas Shelby situation. Like,
ooh, but that's just sexy.
Exactly. So I feel like we're going one of two ways with this.
I'm going to quote New Girl again. Quit being so mean to me or I'm going to fall in love with you.
Exactly. Like, I don't.
So they said there were over 400 girls who auditioned. And then, okay, so Chris was the guy who put them together, whatever. Yeah. And then his dad was like the big manager or whatever.
I guess.
I was like, Chris, was a fucking baby when they put this together. He was like literally a baby.
Yes.
It seemed like a pet project. I don't know.
It seemed like his dad was kind of just like, yeah, you go do that.
Whatever,
Sure.
It worked out.
It worked for him.
Not for them, I guess, in the long run.
It worked
but
for a little while.
For him. Yeah. So then they get Mel beat. Now, watching these auditions.
Dang.
Woo!
Yeah.
They saw some potential.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they were looking for, and they were right.
Yeah.
But the auditions were...
Yeah. Okay. We are watching them on what I assume is a VHS.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Watching them back. The acoustics in the room were not great. At least not on video.
Yeah.
So maybe in person it sounded different.
Yeah.
But like on video it was... The look wasn't good.
The microphone was
not good. The acoustics were not good. Like,
and they picked like random songs. Like Mel C's song was, oh my God, what was it?
Did they get to pick their own song?
I would assume so.
One of them sang Whitney Houston.
Choices.
I will always love. No. Was that what it was?
Maybe.
I don't remember. One of them sang Whitney Houston,
I
though,
would
and I was
not
like, that's a
recommend-
bold
yeah,
choice.
I don't recommend singing Whitney Houston for a singing audition.
No. I only
Unless
recommend
you
that unless
are-
it's drunk karaoke, in which case, absolutely sing Whitney Houston.
Big time. Yeah. So Mel B was the first one that they were like, okay, this is good.
And she was so cute in her audition.
She was. They're all cute. Oh, Melanie C sang I'm So Excited.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
I didn't like that. And then this is when Victoria, they were like, well, she's great, but not very good skin. He still has the notes that they took. They had like all these different categories and they gave them all these scores or whatever. So Geri, she kind of maneuvered her way through. Which honestly, this was also bold because like they would have auditions and she'd be like, ooh, sorry, can't make it today. Ooh, sorry, I'm not going to be there today. Oops, something happened. I'm not going to be there today. And so
they just kept pushing her through the rounds.
Yeah, they were like, okay, well, now we're on to round 2 or whatever. So then she was just going to come to round 2. So yeah, so then she just like got in, which again, like
she was she was incredible.
Choice.
So it worked out, but
like I feel like
they had to have seen the potential or have like known about her before, because otherwise I don't feel like they would have kept pushing her through.
Yeah, because you'd think if she's like, oh, well, I can't make it today, they're like, well, then you're out. Like,
yeah, bye.
Yeah, like, but they didn't. So they check out theater schools, and Baby Spice was 18 then, and they found her there, and then they were like, bingo bongo, we did it.
And then they just drop her in the house, and she just fits right in. And he says like, it was like we slotted the last missing piece in, and then everything just worked.
And they were all just like best friends. They were like, and he also said just they were like so uplifting of each other.
Yeah,
and
they
like,
really stood up for each other. They took up for each other. They like
became a unit. Yeah, like immediately.
Like immediately gelled.
Yeah. So December 1994, they do the showcase so that they can get singers and songwriters and producers.
Yeah.
To like put their stuff together. So the songwriters were like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Basically, because they were. And they get Wannabe.
Yeah. What I loved about that clip, though, is that it's like these 5 teenage girls and they're in a room. They're in like a studio, right? And it's just like all of these big name producers, big name songwriters. Like they have pulled in like everybody, like top people. And the girls are just sitting there on the floor and they're like, what are you going to do for us?
And they're like, here's what you're not going to do for us. You're not going to write stuff that sounds like what everybody else is doing. We don't want to just sing little love songs. We don't just want to sing about this or that. Like, that's what everybody's doing. We want to sing about other kind of stuff.
And let me in. I'm coming through.
And I was like, I love it.
And I mean, their first 2 albums,
bangers.
I mean, like,
come on.
So anyway, so they get Wannabe, and record companies are like, a girl group, it's looking good. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So they end up firing Chris and Bob because they're like,
you're not doing it for us anymore.
You're just not doing it. But like, we can do better than you can do.
And they make a point about this in the documentary. Like they really like took control of everything. Like he put them together. He wanted to control it. And they were just like, no.
So they drop them, and then they hire the manager, Simon Fuller. So then like record companies are battling to sign them. They end up signing with Virgin Records. And 1996, July, my life changed forever because the single Wannabe dropped.
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
My daughter loves it. She has a Spice Girl shirt. If it was big enough, I would have worn it for this episode. But alas, we are not the same size.
So Wannabe comes out. It is obviously a huge
phenomenal
hit. I mean, it is. And honestly, it does sound very different. I mean, the 90s were, you know, Wild Time to Be Alive and amazing. But it did still sound different.
It was different. And it was, I mean, it was exactly what they had said they were trying to do, which was they were a girl group. They were not selling sex. They were, at least not with that song.
Cause tonight is the night when two become one.
And it was literally about just them being friends and like having a group of girl friends.
Yeah. And the lyrics being like, if you want to get with me, you have to, like, my friends are going to be more important. They're going to come before you because you're, expendable.
Yeah. And I loved that. And
love
like
that.
the girl power for realsies. Come on. How do you not love it?
This was the biggest selling album ever by a girl group, and it still is.
I love it. I love it.
That's amazing. So that's when girl power came about in relation to the Spice Girls.
We started this movement, which is called pouvoir de fille.
Apparently, the term girl power originated from a feminist punk movement from the early 90s called Riot Girl. There's a bunch of R's. It was started by women who were tired of sexism in the punk music scene, and the Spice Girls adopted it and made it their own. And then obviously, like, it went all over the world.
Yeah. I think
Girl power.
Blah, blah, blah. Girl power, feminism, do you know what I mean?
And let's talk about Matthew Wright. The worst.
okay. I'm gonna fold my arms over my chest about this. This whole segment honestly just pissed me off. Like all of it. The guys talking about it. The little girl pissed me off the most because she was like, they're just taking feminism, they're ruining it. And I was like, you're 8 years old and you need to calm down. Where is your mother?
Yeah.
Where is she?
Like, they have the nerve to make money.
How
are you kidding me?
They've ruined feminism for girls. Like, how?
And Matthew Wright with his, what does he have, like a rat tail now? He's still so smug. Did you see? It was just hiding in the back, and he'd turn his head sometimes, and I'm like, what is that on the back of your head? It was disgusting.
Because it's like this long. It's like a little paintbrush sticking out of the back of his head. It was
weird.
Gross.
I hated it. And he was like, well, you know, it's all fake, and it's ironic because it's a male machine.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, they're everywhere. They are on posters, shirts. They have dolls.
The Barbies. Did you have the Barbies?
Oh, yeah. Well, Tori did. Yeah.
I didn't have the Barbies.
Still. Okay, so the press really liked to try to scandalize them about how they dressed, right?
Yes.
They tried to humiliate Geri by showing, like, releasing pictures or whatever when she used to do modeling. And I guess she had done either nude modeling or, like,
semi-nude model.
Yeah,
so
stuff
revealing.
like that.
At the very least, like, it was revealing. And there was the interview where they ask her about it. They're on some show. I'm assuming it's like some sort of British talk show or something. I didn't know what it was. But they're like, how do you feel about these nude photos of you modeling coming out? And she was like, it's my past and I did it and I don't care. And I assumed that it would come out at some point because of the level of fame that we're at. And she just like very much answered the question, shut it down and was like, move on.
Yeah.
And the hosts were like, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Like
in 1997, Simon and the girls were in a different place, and so they left his ass high and dry. So the Spice Girls in 1997 at the MTV Europe Music Awards, they won Best Group, and they performed Spice Up Your Life, which is like
what a banger.
A great one. Oh my gosh, yeah. After that, the girls kind of took on more control, more responsibilities. Like, they kind of each had a thing that they managed. So like you said, Chris and Simon get together to talk about everything. And according to Chris, they discussed a new business venture.
This is my favorite thing.
Oh my God.
This was the unexpected cameo that I was like, okay.
I know. And then they show
S Club 7.
Don't stop, never give up. Hold your head high and reach the top.
Do you remember their TV show?
I was not an S Club 7 person.
Really?
Oh, did you like them?
I did.
Were they good?
Club. I mean, they were like an ABBA knockoff. But
I don't like ABBA. I'm so sorry.
I don't want to say knockoff because that makes it sound like they weren't as good. And I didn't mean that. They were like almost like a revamp kind of thing, like a new age.
Okay, well, then
ABBA.
I stand by. I don't like them. You don't like Henry Cavill? I don't like S Club 7.
I don't dislike Henry Cavill. I like him less now that I know he owns flip-flops, not by the water.
Well, no, there was no water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like Henry Cavill in a suit.
And then Spice Girls put out Spice World, which debuted at number 1 and sold over 13 million copies worldwide. Okay, so episode 2. There's 3 of these.
Yeah.
And it's wild. But episode 2, tabloids are just going off.
Out of control.
Yeah. So one of the things that they said was the makeup artist, hairstylist, and the girls had a tradition where every day there was a king dare.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody had to do the dare. So this day, Geri was like, I'll do it. And they said a lot of times Geri did it because
Yeah, because that's who she was.
Yeah. And so they were going to a royal gala. And so they were like, you have to kiss Prince Charles, which you're not supposed to touch them. Like, I guess you're supposed to like curtsy and bow or whatever, and then like get the fuck away or something. I don't know. But she did it.
And she grabbed his ass. She
did. His face.
Oh my God. First of all, his face.
Well,
it was improved.
Bless him. Yeah. That was probably the most exhilarating thing that ever happened to him in his whole life.
After Princess Diana, obviously, because first and foremost, that's the only thing I know about the royals, and I will die on that hill.
100% love everything about her.
She never did anything wrong. I don't care what anybody says. That revenge dress, God.
Ooh, what a perfect human. They're kind of speaking out about the tabloids and being like, dudes, like, talk about what's actually happening instead of gossip. Like, this is getting ridiculous. And at this point, they're like, would people stop asking when we're going to break up? Matthew Wright is back.
Our Lord and Savior Matthew Wright with his little ponytail.
All he talks about is how annoying the Spice Girls are. They get on my nerves. Are they going to apologize for putting out terrible music? I hate, because like he was just saying such mean things about them and like personally and about their looks and about their lives.
For somebody who's so annoyed with them, like they just live rent free in his head. Just.
Mm-hmm. But that's how Matthew Wright was about the Spice Girls. It's all he thought about. He could not write one thing about them in a positive way. It was always just how awful they were, how disgusting they were, how this, that, whatever. He would write about their outfit. So during the European leg of the Spice World Tour, Geri actually broke down on stage and nobody really knew what was going on. And then she kind of disappeared after that. Like, there were articles about her not showing up to stuff. And so the other Spice Girls were still doing like shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh, Geri's not feeling well tonight. She's under the weather. Get well soon, Geri. Like, whatever.
They really covered for her.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They said that she was exhausted, had been fighting with eating disorders, and in her autobiography, Geri later wrote, quote, one thing that was clear at the time I decided to leave was that Ginger Spice, underneath the makeup, the big hair, the giant platforms, and the headlight-grabbing dresses, there was a real girl, and she was being suffocated.
And that made me so sad.
So sad.
And at the time, I was so mad that she left. I was like, you're ruining the tour. This is going to ruin the tour. And it did.
It did, it did.
But in hindsight now, like as an adult looking at that, like I just feel so bad for her.
Yeah, 100%.
And I feel bad for the rest of the group too, because there was nothing they could do for her.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know.
And she was especially targeted with the weight stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Moving
obviously
on.
fans are devastated. They felt betrayed. They were like, oh, what the Geri, I thought you said friends forever. Then they got blamed for teen pregnancies. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, because Mel B got pregnant and they were like, teen
and Victoria
pregnancies.
Beckham. Yeah.
Well, first of all, they weren't teenagers.
Yeah, they were not. They just got they got pregnant as adults.
Yeah.
David Beckham enters the chat.
Yeah, he does.
Young David Beckham.
Not a hottie.
My cup of tea.
Nope. Present day David Beckham.
Victoria saw some potential.
She saw
there.
potential. To be fair, her hair at the time was not great. It was very 90s, 2000s hair.
It was.
So I have to say that he probably equally saw potential in her. Both of them now, incredible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm. So Victoria meets David Beckham at the Four Seasons Hotel because they always stayed there. And then they end up getting engaged. And then obviously they end up getting married. But between those two, she gets pregnant. Mel B gets pregnant. In 1999, Geri released her first single called Look at Me.
Look at me.
I didn't know she did this. Did you?
Yes. I remember this.
Okay.
I liked it. She was like, I don't remember the words, but
that's exactly what she sounded like, actually.
See?
Yeah.
Okay, so then the Spice World Tour ended. They start doing their solo careers. I do remember Mel C doing a solo thing. She chopped all her hair off. She dyed it blonde. The media, though, decided that she looked like a lesbian and must be gay.
Yeah, and so her and her best friend were obviously gay together.
And I believed that.
I don't think I remember that.
But what I didn't know is that Geri's solo career was like super successful. Like
Yeah.
here, I knew the one song.
Yeah, we didn't hear much of any of their solo stuff.
No, she was apparently like incredibly successful with hers. She had like 2 albums that were like
They were like number ones, right? Or
Yeah.
like very high up
very
on the charts.
high. Yeah, I didn't know about any of that. So in December of 2000, the group announced that they were going on
Hiatus.
I don't know why I couldn't say that word.
It's a French word. It's very difficult.
Hiatus to focus on their solo careers. So where are they now? In 2012, they showed up at the London Olympics, but it was them and they were all together and it was amazing. And they did Wannabe and Spice Up Your Life.
Oh, I
and
remember that. Yeah.
it was awesome. In 2007, Geri did rejoin the Spice Girls and we were also very happy about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Victoria, I would say Victoria, now Beckham,
Yeah.
is arguably the now most famous of all of them because she married David Beckham. They're hugely successful. They're like all over everything. Mel B competed on Dancing with the Stars and The Masked Singer, and she judged America's Got Talent. She has 3 daughters named Phoenix, Angel, and Madison.
Okay.
And she advocates for those who have suffered from...
What
is happening to my body?
Are you okay?
Suffered from domestic violence and abuse. Emma Bunton has judged and appeared on different talent shows as well as hosted the Great American Baking Show. Mel C was the most successful solo music artist of the group.
Really?
I wasn't expecting that.
I just thought it would have been Geri.
I thought Geri, like, because they talked about how her albums debuted and like, but again, maybe this is like,
well,
she was
we
really
didn't
big
see
in
their
Britain.
careers outside of Spice Girls, so how would we know?
In 2019, the group toured around Great Britain. Oh no.
Don't wanna say I'm getting concerned, but to be honest, I'm getting concerned.
Great Britain and Ireland. In their first ever large stadium tour, Victoria was not able to join the rest of the group because of business commitments. In April of 2024, all 5 women reunited at Victoria's 50th birthday party in London. That's hurting my heart. That is hurting my heart. And David Beckham recorded a short video of the 5 singing together and dancing to their hit stop. I remember this.
I do remember that.
It was so good. There have been and continue to be rumors that they're going to have another lengthier and widespread reunion tour. I will sell my children to go to that tour.
Same.
Okay. Based on their social media, they all care deeply for one another. And despite everything, they, still believe that friendship never ends.
We love it.
And sometimes friendship takes a hiatus.
It does take a hiatus.
You just don't know.
But they came back together because girl power is forever.
Forever. I want to get a girl power shirt now.
Well, we've got to start preparing so that we can get our concert outfits ready for when they go back on tour.
Exactly. And I need that shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Are you going to dress as Baby Spice when we go?
Of course.
Okay.
My hips will no longer support a platform shoe, so we'll have to make do.
What if we find you some Dr. Scholl's?
Yeah. This is not,
the 90s anymore. Oh my God. I had the platform jellies. Did you?
No, but I had jellies. I had a lot of jellies, just not platform.
I had jellies and I had platform ones. And I think I had like some colored ones, like some bright colored ones. Green or blue, maybe.
Let's
I can't
bring those
remember.
back. I mean, I think they kind of are back, or they weren't.
Do you know what we shouldn't bring back though? Those brown sandals that also had like a little bit of a platform that were like, they look like Jesus shoes.
Yeah.
But they made your feet smell horrid.
They really did.
Because I don't know what was in them, but they were bleh.
Yeah. Whatever they put in those things, it was
Not good.
It was not good.
No, it's not good at all.
Yeah.
Okay, well, when the Spice Girls go back on tour, you'll catch us there. Whatever we have to do. We might be starting that OnlyFans a little earlier than we
true.
thought.
But yeah.
Girl power nonetheless. We'll be out there.
Yeah. But we love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.